Hello and welcome to the TechBytes audiocast. My name's Tim and I'm from the TechBytes blogazine, and with me is Dr. Roy Shestowitz from the TechBytes website.
It's Friday night and I'm gonna get sauce. I fought the troll and the troll lost. I fought the troll and the troll lost. He tried to boss me and was outbossed. I fought the troll and the troll lost. I fought the troll and the troll lost. Underneath his Freebird Bridge, hoping goats will cross. Quoting Ashcroft and Tom Ridge.
Right then, hello and welcome to episode 64 of the TechBytes audiocast. I'm Tim, I'm here with Rusty and Roy, so we've got a full crew tonight, and we've got quite a few topics to discuss. We're going to be looking at the Linux Foundation, talking about Nokia, a little bit about Android, and a few things about Bristol City Council as well, which all will be revealed a bit later on. So, before I put you over to Roy, just a very quick mention. We've had quite a long chat before the show this time around, which is quite unusual, and probably discussed a lot of the things which we should have covered on the show, which was quite unique. I'll put a request out to everybody now. We're looking for more people to come on who'd be willing to come on and give their opinions and views. If you're working on an open source project, or even if you're not, you'd be more than welcome to come on the show. So if I could just use the first couple of minutes to ask you, if you have something to say and you do want to put your views across, and they might be conflicting with ours, please get in touch with either myself or Roy or Rusty, and I'm sure we can arrange something. So with that in mind, Roy, over to you for the first topic of the day.
Well, one of the things I found out about today, I'm not sure it's news, but it was in the news, so you'd assume there is something new about it. I think you've mentioned this very briefly. There is the situation in Russia with regards to Linux. Basically, those who have been listening to the show for the past at least half a year, they probably know about the plans from Vladimir Putin to have Linux installed on just about everything by 2015. So about 4 years from now, 3 years from now, we'd expect to have more and more computers and things in government using Linux. And what I was thinking recently is the fact that Mandriva has been passed over to a Russian company or stakeholders in Russia or something like that. And the government in Russia using to an extent a Mandriva-based operating system. There was a plan to put Linux in the schools. Do you remember that? Right, yeah.
I've read quite a few.
I'm not even sure what the situation is. I mean, the last time I wrote about it, it was a statement from ALT Linux or ALT Linux or something like that. And they basically were complaining after IDC had pressured the government to think about going back to Microsoft to try and cancel the planned migrations with a CD all prepared to move several segments of the country, or several, I'm not sure they call it like provinces or counties or whatever of the countries, moving them one by one to Linux. I think it was called the Perm region or something, the one that they thought about going with first. So anyway, Microsoft is still playing dirty tricks and using its paid analysts and all kinds of so-called advisors to try and derail migrations, and I think we'll mention something later about Bristol. I do want to mention something about that. And there is also the story, which you may have found, and if you guys haven't found, it was published in the Indian press. It's from Tamil Nadu, which is one of the areas, I'm not sure again what it's called, province or region or city or something, in India. And they had been moving towards, in some states, the word was moving towards SLED from Novell, with Thunderbird and all kinds of stuff in the government, in the very same way that Kerala had done around 2006, 7, whatever. So in India, you have this move towards Linux, and every time it happens, Microsoft has to sneak in some kind of malls inside and try to derail things in ways that we increasingly understand better and better. So this person who published the article shows some Cablegate material, which is very nicely detailed, how it works with, like even the Gates Foundation stepping in and, doing its, so-called charitable things to make sure the contract goes to Microsoft and the children grow up with Windows or things like that. And going back to the issue of Russia, the whole thing started with the so-called piracy scare, policemen being threatened with jail sentences and things like that. and thinking, well, we don't have to tolerate this. We have to control the operating system, and we don't have to be in a situation where we are being labeled as pirates or thieves, or in some cases even the activists in Russia not so long ago, where you were targeted by the police based on the fact that they were allegedly using Microsoft software without having a license. And Microsoft was in fact helping the government do that, so basically cracking down on dissidents based on their use of Windows. So anyway, Russia is said to be still moving towards Linux in the long term, and hopefully when Vista 8 comes out with this Metro thingy that's supposed to be like a phone on your computer, maybe that'll be enough of a mess for them to kind of say, well, we've got a new desktop environment, we kind of realize Linux is doing it the right way by doing different options of things, and people just get fed up with it and start moving towards like tablets or something else, running Android or Ubuntu or something else.
Well, talking of Ubuntu, sort of relate to this, I think we've discussed it before, and I'm sure we brought it up with John O'Bacon, Canonical Community Manager, and that was Ubuntu being adopted by the French Police Service.
And also the Indian courts. Did you read about that? I think it's about 20,000 or so, maybe even desktops. They move away from Red Hat to Ubuntu.
Surprisingly, though, we don't hear a lot about that now, either in the positive or negative.
I think we hear about it, and I'm not sure. It's a speculation, because Canonical is about to release Ubuntu like Thursday or maybe Friday. I cannot even give you a date because it depends on how they spread it amongst the mirrors. So they might be a bit late, as they usually are. But sometime this week they're going to.
I know there's a number of places having celebration parties on the 23rd.
Yes.
So it's sometime between now and the 23rd.
But probably the 13th is like the target date. So as far as I know, that's what I'm being told by the news.
Well,
and Canonical has already issued a press release talking about what's going to be in the release. It's kind of like preparatory, kind of like it's almost just about here, but it's not officially available for download just yet.
Well, if we just stick with Canonical while we're still on the subject, it's very interesting now to see that there's been a marked change in attitude in regards to Unity. I've noticed it on quite a few forums, and I'm in the middle of writing an article about that particular topic, where it seems that the initial bad reception of the Unity UI is now becoming more accepted, and it's in fact, dare I say, even liked by a lot of people as well. Yeah. And I don't know whether that's because of
people who don't like it moving away. It's one.
It's about a 50-50. There's the people. There's also I've seen stories as of late, people complaining that the plugins that have been added to restore functionality that's missing they're acting like they're an assault on Unity, that they don't understand the point of Unity. The point of Unity is to get away from that. It shouldn't work like that anymore. And it's almost bordering on a Unity fanboyism.
But then again, is that a bad thing? Well, certainly not as far as Canonical would be concerned, or any company, I would assume. Your fanboy person, and I don't like using the term because you can be very enthusiastic about a project and then wrongfully labelled a fanboy because of it.
You can also be a girl.
Oh, yeah, well, fangirl, yes, thank you.
Which in Linux doesn't happen very often.
But yeah, and I think for any company, certainly if I was head of Canonical, I'd be very pleased to have people that were so enthused by my products and services that they would be labelled as a fan person, shall we be politically correct. So, but yeah, it seems that it's very different now, the opinions on Unity. Rusty says it's about 50-50. I'll probably go with that from what I've seen on the forums, but certainly when it first hit the scene, the consensus, or by many, wasn't 50-50, and there was a massive outcry, and it's nice to see that now it's settled and now it's becoming more mature, and some of the bugs.
I think what it is like Roy's saying, the people who are staying with Ubuntu have learned if they want to stay with Ubuntu, they need to accept Unity, and the people who are unwilling to do that have decided, I guess I'm leaving Ubuntu.
But I don't see many.
I don't see many rants. I don't see any rants about Unity, to be honest with you.
Well,
And I
let's
watched
say
these
it's
versions.
Linux. You know, they can go to another Debian-based distro without having to rant. You know, it's not like they really lose a lot by doing that. It's not like, oh, my OS betrayed me, I lost everything, I have to start over. It's Linux. You know, you go to another